Swamini Mataji, whenever you're ready, you can start, Mataji. Oh, can you guys hear me? Swamini Mataji, are you here?
Sorry, Prabhuji, I was on mute and I was talking.
Sure.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayat Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamalini Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangri. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 18, verses 68 to 78. Diti vows to kill King Indra. Text 68. Because of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Diti was completely purified. When she got up from bed, she saw her 49 sons along with Indra. These 49 sons were all as brilliant as fire and were in friendship with Indra, and therefore she was very pleased. Text 69. Thereafter, Diti said to Indra, My dear son, I adhere to this difficult vow just to get a son to kill you 12 Adityas. Text 70. I prayed for only one son, but now I see that they are 49. How has this happened? My dear son Indra, if you know, please tell me the truth. Do not try to speak lies. Text 71. Indra replied, My dear mother, because I was grossly blinded by selfish interest, I lost sight of religion. When I understood that you were observing a great vow in spiritual life, I wanted to find some fault in you. When I found such a fault, I entered your womb and cut the embryo to pieces. Text 72. First, I cut the child in the womb into 7 pieces, which became 7 children. Then I cut each of the children into 7 pieces again. By the grace of the Supreme Lord, however, none of them died. Text 73. My dear mother, when I saw that all 49 sons were alive, I was certainly struck with wonder. I decided that this was a secondary result of your having regularly executed devotional service in worshipping of Lord Vishnu. Text 74. Although those who are interested only in worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead do not desire anything material from the Lord and do not even want liberation, Lord Krishna fulfills all their desires. Text 75. The ultimate goal of all the ambitions is to become a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If any intelligent man serves the most dear Lord, who gives himself to his devotees, how can he desire material happiness which is available even in hell? Text 76. O my mother, O best of all the women, I am a fool. Kindly excuse me for whatever offenses I have committed. Your 49 sons have been born unhurt because of your devotional service. As an enemy, I cut them to pieces, but because of your great devotional service, they did not die. Text 77. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued. Diti was extremely satisfied by Indra's good behavior. Then Indra offered his respects to his aunt with profuse obeisances, and with her permission, he went away to the heavenly planet with his brother, the Marutas. Text 78. My dear King Parikshit, I have replied as far as possible to the questions you have asked me, especially in regard to this pure, auspicious narration about the Marutas. Now you may inquire further. I shall explain more. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 18, Diti vows to kill King Indra. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Vamsi will improve. Whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we are continuing from verse 68 onwards towards the end of this chapter. As this chapter is titled, Diti vows to kill Indra. So just to recap the previous verse that was ended on Friday, um, it is said that if one worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original person, even once he receives the benefit of being promoted to the spiritual world and possessing the same bodily features as Lord Vishnu. And because Diti worshipped Lord Vishnu for 1 year, adhering to the great vow that was given by Kashyapa Muni, and because of such spiritual strength in spiritual life, the 49 Maruts were born. That is where we've ended. And in 68, the same theme continues. Because of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Diti was completely purified. So that is what happens to all of us. We gradually become purified. To the degree we are worshipping Lord Krishna, we become purified. When she got up from the bed, she saw suddenly 49 sons along with Indra. The 49 sons were all as brilliant as fire and were in friendship with Indra, and therefore she was very pleased. Some good lessons to learn from this pastime we'll discuss in the end. Later, she is surprised. I prayed only for one son. How is that 49 are born? So Indra replied, this is a very important purport that Srila Prabhupada writes in text 71. My dear mother, because I was grossly blinded by selfish interests, I lost sight of religion. When I understood that you were observing a great vow in spiritual life, I wanted to find some fault in you. This is the nature of this material world. If somebody is trying to practice bhakti, there will be envious personalities around. Even when Srila Prabhupada was trying to spread this movement, there were envious people. Hey, how come this suddenly the Swamiji is preaching Krishna consciousness and he's making devotees all over the world? Prabhupada writes in one purport. But that is the nature of this world. Prabhupada even writes in one purport, if one tries to be truly Krishna conscious, the whole world will be against him. Whole world will be against him, which means probably even the personalities in the higher realms, who knows? All the impediments that we see in our life could be due to various factors that we cannot even fathom. In fact, Sri Prahlad Maharaj in the seventh canto, I forgot what instant, he mentions that could it be the Devatas who are, I forgot whether it's Prahlad Maharaj or Dhruva Maharaj, one of them. So could it be whether it's the Devatas who are coming and disturbing me? Probably Dhruva Maharaj. But here Prabhupada mentions when Diti, Indra's aunt, explained to Indra without reservations what she had wanted to do Indra explained his intentions to her. Thus, both of them, instead of being enemies, freely spoke the truth. This is the effect of bhakti. If you are practicing bhakti under the guidance of a guru, our heart has to become cleansed gradually. And the effect of the heart cleansing is the enmity between each other should gradually reduce. And that we have to assess ourselves, not to judge others, but we have to assess ourselves. Because this fault finding tendency is very easy in us. It's very, because we are living in this material world and we are doing the day to day job where we want to we may be in some positions in this material world to do some work where we are supposed to find some things, and that same tendency comes into spiritual life also, and we try to find faults in others. But the actual effect of bhakti, Srila Prabhupada is writing that they started freely speaking about the truth about each other. This is the qualification that results from contact with Vishnu. Prabhupada writes a very profound statement that the effect of being in touch with Krishna is our heart must get purified and we have to be open. And in fact, Srila Prabhupada writes the first quality of a Vaishnava is to be simple, without duplicity. Simplicity is Vaishnavism. Srila Gaur Maharaj also says this very often. And Prabhupada writes, Yasyasti bhakti bhagavat akinchana sarvai gunais tatra samasate sura, from the fifth canto. If one develops a devotional attitude and becomes purified by worshipping the Supreme Lord, all good qualities are certainly manifested in his body. Because of being touched by the worship of Vishnu, both Diti and Indra were purified. So the devotional attitude is very important because it is not just the activity of devotional service that will purify us. The attitude with which we perform bhakti to please our superiors, to please Gaur Nitai, to please Radha and Krishna, that is the attitude to please the Vaishnavas. In that attitude, if we try to perform bhakti, we gradually become purified. And then Indra starts confessing. Imagine Indra of all personalities. We will see how Indra got purified. Then Indra starts confessing that he started cutting one sun into 7 pieces and then those 7 pieces into multiple pieces. And then Indra says, my dear mother, when I saw the 49 sons were alive, I was struck with wonder. I decided that this was a secondary result of your having regularly executed devotional service in worship of Lord Vishnu. He confesses because he is also a devotee. He can understand how these miracles can happen. And Prabhupada writes, he quotes the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita verse, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Shir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there is also certainly opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. This was recited by Sanjaya in the end. And Prabhupada writes, Yogeshwara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of all mystic yoga, he can do anything and everything he likes. In the previous verses on Friday, we saw that Srila Shukadeva Goswami says to Maharaj, because Maharaj Parikshit is also surprised, how is that suddenly 49 sons are born? And Srila Shukadeva Goswami reminds Maharaj Parikshit his own life that when he was born to ashes by the Brahmastra weapon that Ashwatthama actually released, but Krishna came and gave him a body. Similarly, Srila Shukadeva Goswami says that these things, whatever is happening, is not so wonderful to understand. Krishna can do anything. He's Swarat. The first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam says Krishna is independent. All the karmic laws and all the laws that we see in this world are thrown out of the window when Krishna wants to do something to us. He can do anything with us. There is no logic. This is the omnipotence of the Supreme Lord. For one who pleases the Supreme Lord, no achievement is wonderful. Everything is possible for him. We need to meditate on this sentence that Srila Prabhupada is writing today. If one who pleases the Supreme Lord, no achievement is wonderful. My Guru Maharaj, he recalls Srila Prabhupada mentioning this in a different place. I don't know where Srila Prabhupada writes, but Srila Prabhupada writes that. And my Guru Maharaj says, um, impossible is a word in the fool's dictionary. Everything is possible by the grace of God. Exactly the same thing that Srila Prabhupada is saying. For one who pleases the Supreme Lord, no achievement is wonderful. Everything is possible for him. And we need to learn the art to please Krishna from our acharyas. Although those who are interested only in worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead do not desire anything material from the Lord and do not even want liberation, Lord Krishna fulfills all their desires. See, Indra is purified now and he's speaking out of purification and he's speaking the actual purpose of bhakti. What is the purpose of bhakti? That Srila Prabhupada writes, even Dhruva Maharaj wanted material aspirations. He had material aspirations when he went to Sripad Narad Muni. But he was fully satisfied by seeing Krishna. Nonetheless, the Lord is so kind that because Dhruva Maharaj in the beginning had desired a kingdom greater than his father's, he was promoted to Dhruva Loka, the best planet in the universe. And Srila Prabhupada quotes the second canto verse, Akama Sarva Kamova. A person who has broader intelligence, it doesn't matter whether we have full material desires, whether we are free from material desires or desiring liberation, must by all means worship Krishna. Even though he has no desires, whatever desires he previously had can all be fulfilled simply by worshipping the Lord. Simply by worshipping Krishna, everything is taken care. The actual devotee, Prabhupada writes, actual devotee. What is actual devotee? Actual devotee is what we are all trying to aspire for. Yes, I was hearing a class. There are different grades of bhakti, different degrees of bhakti that we can practice. Everything, there are different degrees. Even the things that we do within the realm of bhakti, there are different degrees that we can practice. And the ultimate aim is to become completely pure. Because unless and until we are completely pure, we are not given entrance into the spiritual world. And Srila Prabhupada is writing, an actual devotee means a completely purified soul does not desire even liberation. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Krishna, if you want me to be taking birth again in this material world, it's okay. The Lord, however, fulfills the desire of the devotee by awarding him opulence that will never be destroyed. Krishna will decide whether to give opulence to his devotee or not. A devotee becomes more and more opulent as he increases his devotional service to the Lord. And what is this opulence? It not necessarily means material opulence. We see so many pastimes in the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu where all his devotees, when Mahaprabhu asked, what do you want? Do you want wealth? Do you want money? Do you want fame? Do you want women? Everything is rejected by the devotee. And Mahaprabhu is being asked by the devotee, please give me costless bhakti, ahaituki bhakti, without any motivations, life after life. And so that we may see your beautiful moon-like face as whatever that mood that devotee has. Kolavecha Sridhar wanted to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Nimai Pandit coming and arguing with him for banana flowers and banana leaves every day for 2 hours. And this is the opulence that Krishna gives to his pure devotees. Whatever mood that the devotee is aspiring to have a relationship with Krishna, that Krishna gives. And that is the greatest opulence that a devotee can aspire for. And that is what Krishna will give if he so desire. And in 75, the ultimate goal of all ambitions is to become a servant of Krishna. If an intelligent man serves the most dear Lord, who gives himself to his devotees, how can he desire material happiness which is available even in hell? This is so amazing, right? Indra, of all people, Indra is speaking all these amazing verses. And why he's speaking that? Because he was in touch with a devotee who was worshipping Krishna with staunch devotion, not by herself. Diti didn't have such inclinations. Her inclination was to have a son to kill Indra. But because Kashyapa Muni instructed and Diti executed those instructions, even though she might have slipped in between, she slipped, she slept, and Indra took that advantage and entered into her room. Doesn't matter. Indra got purified because he was in touch with the servant of the servant of the servant coming from Kashyapa Muni. Kashyapa Muni gave instructions to worship Lord Vishnu. And this is the same effect that we will also have in Srila Prabhupada's Krishna consciousness movement. Because we are following the previous acharyas, it is for sure gradually we will get purified. We are getting evidence from the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. An intelligent man will never aspire to become a devotee to achieve material happiness. And Srila Prabhupada quotes Shikshashtakam verse. न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहेतुकी त्वयि. What is the goal of our bhakti? What are we aspiring for? This is what we are aspiring for. All our acharyas say this. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, na dhanam, nor do I desire beautiful women, na janam, na sundarim, nor do I want any number of followers. Kavita, I only want your costless devotional service birth after birth. A pure devotee never begs the Lord for material happiness in the shape of riches, followers, good wife, or even mukti. The Lord promises, however, Yogakshemam Mahamyaham. I voluntarily bring everything necessary for my service. Whatever is necessary for us to serve Krishna, Krishna gives. And that is what a pure devotee aspires for. Sometimes we hear, oh, this is all very high. This is all very high. Maybe for pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada and his disciples, not for me. That is not the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam. When Devananda Pandit, who was there in Navadvip, and he was preaching Srimad Bhagavatam, he was a scholar in Srimad Bhagavatam. He was preaching the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam in such scholarly way that people were stunned by his scholarship. And once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, he was walking passing Devananda Pandit's home. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard Devananda Pandit speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, and he couldn't bear hearing Devananda Pandit speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? It is said that later Srivas Pandit once went passing and he heard somebody reciting Srimad Bhagavatam and he immediately entered the assembly of Devananda Pandit. And when Srivas Thakur goes, he hears Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the sign of a pure devotee. They don't see who is reciting what. For them, it is all about Krishna. When Srivas Thakur enters and he hears Srimad Bhagavatam, he immediately remembers Krishna. He forgets who is reciting, what mood they are reciting. He immediately faints, remembering Krishna. And all the disciples of Devananda Pandit, they see Srivas Thakur and they think that this person is some sentimentalist. Let's throw him out of this assembly. But Devananda Pandit didn't stop his disciples. He did not know the greatness of Srivas Thakur. He just didn't say anything. So his disciples just carried Srivas Thakur and just threw him out of the assembly. And Krishna knows everything that is happening. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for this one fact, he completely avoided Devananda Pandit, who was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam every day. And Srivas Thakur, it is said later by Mahaprabhu reveals later that Srivas, that day when Devananda Pandit and his disciples didn't give you respect and threw you out of their assembly, that day you went home weeping, crying, and going home and opening up the Srimad Bhagavatam and relishing Srimad Bhagavatam. And that day I entered into your heart to give you the bliss and ecstasy of studying Srimad Bhagavatam. The reason I'm telling this story is that the primary purpose of studying Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahaprabhu tells Devananda Pandit in the end, later, when Mahaprabhu comes back to Navadip after 5 years of sannyas, he tells, because Devananda Pandit then serves Vakreshwar Pandit, and that's how he gets the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Then Devananda Pandit realizes, then he goes and begs forgiveness, because then Mahaprabhu forgives Devananda Pandit because he served a great soul, because he served Vakreshwar Pandit. Then Mahaprabhu tells, then Devananda Pandit asks, what should I do? How should I teach Srimad Bhagavatam to others? Then Mahaprabhu tells, the only goal of Srimad Bhagavatam is pure, unalloyed devotional service. And if you don't teach this to others, then there is no use of spreading the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is what our acharyas are saying, page after page. This is the goal for us. I am nowhere close to there. But it doesn't mean that when we are talking to others, we should just cover that up. Because that is what Prabhupada is speaking every page of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that should be our goal. So, in the later verses, Srila Prabhupada writes, there is no purport, that Diti was extremely satisfied by Indra's good behavior. Then Indra offered his respects to his aunt with profuse obeisances, and with her permission, he went away to the heavenly planets with his brothers, the Maruts. And in the previous verse, he says, as an enemy, I cut your sons into pieces, but because of your great devotional service, they did not die. And this is what we discussed, right? Because Diti served her husband, even though she might have slipped in between, right? Apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananyabhag sadureva samantyava samyak vyavasito hi saha. That even we may slip in between due to our own conditioning, our own weaknesses. It doesn't matter, we should not give up bhakti. And it has effects. But now the important lesson, last 3-4 minutes or 5 minutes, I want to share the important lesson of this pastime. Couple of lessons. I heard this from my spiritual master. He says that, see, Diti, in the beginning, she actually wanted to kill Indra. She was not angry against Lord Vishnu, because Diti's children were Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. If you look back at the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, the third canto, when Hiranyaksha was born, we know, right, all the demons represent anarthas. And Hiranyaksha was after, he was very greedy to go and fight with somebody. I mean, I am so strong, I really want to go and fight with somebody. And he was going and scaring all the devatas. And in one verse, there is no purport. In one verse, it is written in third canto that Indra and all the devatas were extremely scared. They just vanished. It is said, Bhagavatam says they just vanished just by seeing Hiranyaksha. And we all know Indra. His nature is he becomes insecure. If somebody becomes strong and somebody becomes austere, he becomes insecure. And Diti recognizes that fact, and she thinks that it is only because of Indra, because he got insecure, he went and prayed to Lord Vishnu. And because of that, Lord Vishnu came as Lord Varahadev. And that she catches. And she goes and tells her husband, you give me a son, and that son should kill Indra. Right? So when we have wrong motivations, but if we still take up to the path of bhakti, we get purified. That is the greatness that Srimad Bhagavatam, time and again, through different pastimes, is teaching us that whatever state of consciousness we are, we have to continuously keep engaging ourselves in bhakti. Sometimes we see so many impurities in our heart, but we should keep moving ahead to please the Vaishnavas, to please Guru. We have to keep marching ahead to eventually get purified by their grace. We should not give hope. And the second lesson is very important for all of us is that Diti, she was trying to execute Kashyapa Muni's instructions with utmost attention. Because Kashyapa Muni clearly said that please make sure whatever I have told you, all the detail, it's regulative principles, just like how we are practicing bhakti, Vaidhi bhakti. Practice it nicely, carefully. But what happened? She was little bit inattentive. Little bit inattentive. Indra Snigdhan. And this will happen to us also if we are not attentive at all times. If we are inattentive in all the limbs that we are practicing in bhakti, Maya will sneak in our lives. She is extremely expert, very expert. In so many angles, she will sneak in our life that we may not even fathom. We will think, oh, everything is going nice. My Guru Maharaj, he says, just like when somebody is going and preaching Krishna consciousness to newcomers, they will not directly go and blow up everything. Oh, Krishna's God, oh, this, that. They will go like a needle, probably distribute some prasadam, invite them to home programs, bring them to temple. They will go into like a needle. And then when they are gradually showing interest, then the preaching style will come out like a plow. Maharaj says, the preaching style will come like a plow. They will just explode. And then people will really become serious. Maharaj says, Maya also enters into our life like that. She will just say, that's okay. Little bit is okay. Like a needle, she will come inside because we are inattentive. If we are attentive, we will reject that idea, that thought that is coming in our mind, we have to reject it immediately. But if you are inattentive, if we are lackluster, Maya will sneak in like a needle, and at one moment, she will just explode in our life like a plow. And when Maya explodes, we have no strength absolutely. Because Krishna says, Daivi Esha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya. Krishna is, Maya is Krishna's energy. What strength do we have as a insignificant jiva in this world? Absolutely no strength we have. So we have to be vigilant. And how can we be vigilant? We can be vigilant by studying Srimad Bhagavatam every single day or hearing Srimad Bhagavatam every single day and chanting the holy names. Shravanam Kirtanam. The other day we were hearing His Grace Vrindavan Prabhuji in the temple, and he was saying, he was quoting all our acharyas, including Srila Prabhupada. Yes, chanting is important, kirtan is important, but if we don't have proper Shravanam, our intelligence will not be sharpened. Shravanam either through studying Srila Prabhupada books or by hearing from the authorities. If we don't have that, our intelligence will not be sharpened. And because of that fact, we will not get the desired result. Prabhuji was quoting an example without mentioning any names. He was mentioning some devotee. He read through various shastras saying that if you chant so many lakhs of names for extended period of time, you will get darshan of Krishna. And he decided, I'm going to sit in the holy dham and I'm going to do this. And after a few years, some devotee went and visited him. What happened? He came and he was introducing some Mataji, saying that she is going to be my future wife. This is what can happen to all of us. We have to simply follow the dhara that has been given by our acharyas. And that is how we can keep ourselves attentive, because attentiveness is important in bhakti. And these are the two lessons that I wanted to share. I'll stop here. It's 7:35. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.